Hello learners, welcome back to the Discrete Mathematics lecture series. I Kirti Sharma. I'm working as an assistant professor in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management curriculum. Today in this lecture series, we will further discuss the next topics of tree, like spanning tree, minimum spanning tree. Under this topic, to find the minimum spanning tree, we have some shortest path algorithm. So we will discuss the shortest path algorithm, like Prim's algorithm and Kruskal algorithm. Both are most important topic from a university exam point of view. So next is tree traversal. So one by one we will cover these topics in this lecture onwards. So let's start with the spanning tree definition. So what do you mean by spanning tree actually? So spanning tree can be defined as a subgraph. We have already studied like graph subgraph theory. So if we have a graph and a part of each, like this is a graph which consists of four vertices. I'm just redrawing this graph here. If A is a node here, A, B, C and D, right? I'm writing here. This is a graph here. Okay. So if I'm just rewriting the subgraph here. This is B, this is C. So this particular is also a graph and it is a subgraph of this graph, right? So if I want to like this is also a subgraph, so multiple subgraph can be possible for a graph, right? So I've already told you, connected graph without any cycle is known as a tree also, right? So that's why we are studying here spanning tree. No need to be confused that in the tree concept we are studying the graph itself. Graph which do not have any cycle and are connected, all the vertices are connected of that graph without any cycle, it's also known as a tree itself, right? So to understand the spanning tree, here we have the subgraphs of the connected, like and undirected. Direction should not be there. Otherwise, we will not be just provide the same thing here, right? Regarding spanning tree. So in case of undirected, if I'm taking example, this is a graph and these are the subgraphs here. So by removing the some number of edges here from this particular graph, we can remove the any edge in order to make it subgraph. But one more thing here, I'm just correcting it. This one vertices, all the vertices should be there, right? So if I'm just, yes, now these are the subgraphs. So vertices, like make the note, uh, any of the vertices cannot miss here, right? So should not miss here. So each and every vertex should be there. So these are the subgraphs here. In other words, you can see spanning tree is a non-cyclic subgraph. So you can define the spanning tree as like this. It's a non-cyclic subgraph of a connected and undirected graph that connects all the vertices together, right? There should not miss any vertex also, right? So that kind of the graph is known as a spanning tree itself. Okay, so it was all about the spanning tree. I hope it is clear to all. So it's very simple. So spanning tree is basically the non-cyclic subgraph which should be the connected one, and after connect it should be the connected one and undirectional. So connected one and undirectional subgraph, right, which should connect all the vertices is known as the spanning tree. Next we have minimum spanning tree. So I have just added the minimum word here. It is also known as MST. It may possible directly come in this way, like short form way, explain MST. So this MST stands for minimum spanning tree here, right? So minimum spanning tree suggest here, like in the graph, if edges consist of some weight or distance, we have already covered, like to find the minimum distance to in order to cover all the vertices, right? So same thing here, edges consist of some weightage here, right? So what it's mean, that weight, on the basis of those weights we have to just find out the minimum distance or minimum weight, total weight to cover all the vertices, right? So that concept is known as, like, with the less weight among all the other spanning trees, like different spanning trees will be available. A graph can consist of any number of spanning tree. I've already told you, like this one is also spanning tree, this one is also spanning tree. So among all the spanning tree, with respect to the graph, the minimum spanning tree is known as the minimum spanning tree. Like this is the sub subgraph here. It's a spanning tree also. So it's also a spanning tree. So in among the both, if we're taking only two of the spanning tree here, which one consists of the minimum weight? 7 plus 5 12, 12 plus 2 14, 5 plus 3 8, 8 plus 2 10. So we will recommend this one here. So this particular spanning tree is known as minimum spanning tree, which consists of minimum weight, right? I hope it is clear. So spanning tree is the subgraph that should be undirected and uncyclic. Okay, so if a subgraph is undirected and uncyclic and connecting all its vertices of a graph, then it's known as spanning tree. In one graph more than one spanning tree can be possible, any number of spanning tree can be possible. Okay? Then next is minimum spanning tree. So minimum spanning tree is the minimum possible least weight to cover all the vertices, right? So in all the spanning trees, if we are able to conclude that one of the spanning tree among all which consists of least spanning tree weight, that is known as a minimum spanning tree. Okay, I hope it is clear. Next is there are the shortest path algorithm. We have to find out the shortest path in order to cover the minimum spanning tree. Okay, so to find out the minimum spanning tree, so minimum, to find the minimum weight, we need to cover those algorithm. By following this algorithm we will cover the minimum spanning tree weight, list weight. Okay, so first we will discuss Prim's algorithm, then after Kruskal algorithm. What about the Prim's algorithm? Actually both those algorithms are most important from exam point of view. There may be a question directly like, what do you mean by shortest path algorithm? Okay, so shortest path algorithm consists of these two algorithm itself, right? So first you have to write the purpose of the shortest path algorithm. What is the purpose? To calculate the minimum weight or least weight with respect to what? To find the minimum spanning tree. Okay, so to find the minimum least weight among all the spanning trees, we need the shortest path algorithm, in which we have Prim's and Kruskal algorithm. So what about Prim's algorithm? Here clearly mentioned, Prim's algorithm is used to find the minimum spanning tree from a graph, right? To find out the minimum spanning tree, we use this Prim's algorithm. This is used to find the subset of edges, right? So it will find the subset of all the edges of that graph, that includes every vertex of the graph. Any of the vertex could not miss here, right? So it must consist like every vertex of the graph, such that sum of weights of edges can be minimized. Okay, so same thing is here. So it will cover all the vertices, and it this collect the subset of edges in order to cover the all the vertices with the minimum weight, in order to minimize the weight. This is the main concept of the Prim's algorithm. So what exactly the Prim's algorithm, how it deals with the graph or spanning trees? So basically we have already mentioned here Prim's algorithm main purpose. The next is, it starts with a single node. What is the theme of this particular algorithm? To execute, it will start from any of the single node, and it will explore all the adjacent with respect to that node. Then we will select the minimum edge weight. Okay, and by connecting all the vertices without any cycle, we will calculate the minimum weight here, right? So we will do the same thing step by step by taking an example here. What is the algorithm? I have mentioned the same thing here in the algorithm. First we will do the take the example, and we will select the try to find out the minimum spanning tree. So this is a graph that is given to you. You have to construct the minimum spanning tree of that graph by using the Prim's algorithm, right? So we will solve this particular question one by one, right? So I'm just taking here some steps here. Step 1, choose a starting vertex. You can choose any vertex. I'm taking here vertex B. So I'm starting from this vertex B here, right? So here in step 1 we have taken the vertex B here, right? Step 2 is saying add the vertices that are adjacent to B here. Sorry, it's not A, it's B. So add the vertices that are adjacent to B. So whatever the adjacent are there, B, what are the B's adjacent here? B's adjacent are D and C with 4 and 10 weight. I have mentioned it over here by dotted lines. So which one we have to select? We have to select the minimum weight among them. Like we have BD and BC. So which one has the minimum weight? 4 itself, right? So here 4 10. So we will select this one. Just highlight this line. Okay, so we are taking here 4 as a, we are considering the as a minimum spanning tree. You have to add this particular edge weight, right? So why? Because we have first choose a vertex, then we have to find the adjacent vertices. Among those adjacent vertices, we have to find look over the minimum weight. This one is the minimum, so we have to consider it into the minimum spanning tree. Next thing, now we are on the D. What are the adjacent of the D in the question? What adjacent, this one we have already covered. Left over these two are there, right? 2 and 1. So I'm just writing here this 2 and 1 over here in dotted line only. Why? Because we have to take the minimum one. So among all these three, which one is the minimum? 1 we have to take, right? And next what we have to take, 2 is also minimum here in among the these two, right? So we will take 1 and 2 and we will exclude this 10. Why? Because we have taken the minimum one here, right? So because it's creating, if we will take this one after taking these minimum two, it will create cycle. There should not be cycle in the minimum spanning tree. If it creates cycle, then we have to ignore that particular edge, right? And we have to take the minimum one. Among all these three, we have taken the minimum ones. If we will take the let's consider if it also have two and it's creating the cycle, and two already you have covered here. Either you, in that case, either you have to take this two or this two, right? You cannot take both because it will create the cycle. But here, no, not the similar edge weight here available. So both are all are the different. So 10 is the greater value, greater weight among all. So and next thing, if we will take this, it will create the cycle after covering the minimum weights. So that's why we will ignore it. So we will ignore it. And then next we have to find like adjacent edges of E. Adjacent edge of E is C only in the question. You can trace the question itself. So here we have the question. What are the adjacent here? This one, right? So we have taken this. Sorry, this one 6, right? So we have taken this one. Okay. So next adjacent is, if we will take this 6, it will create the cycle. That's why we directly ignore this. We will not take it. Next adjacent of C will be, adjacent of C will be this, which is 3. Is it creating any cycle? No. So it is compulsory to cover all the vertices without any cycle. If any edge we are taking it as it in the minimum spanning tree and it is creating the cycle, we will remove that edge from the MST. Okay. So with the higher weight and which creating the cycle, we will remove it. Okay. So weightage may be equals, but like not higher. If it is equal, then also we have to remove one of those similar weightage if it is creating the cycle here. Okay. So this is the final minimum spanning tree, which consists of small less minimum or least, you can say, weight. What is the weight of this graph? Every vertex are covered already here, so no need to move further. We have to stop over here. So what is the minimum weight here? 1 plus 2 3 plus 4 7 plus 3 10. So answer is minimum weight, minimum spanning tree. This is a minimum spanning tree with the weight 10 here. So we have covered this thing. So this is example. Cost of the MHD is 10 units. So it was all about the Prim's algorithm, right? I hope it is clear to all. If you are not getting the things, just take the recap of the video and see the steps one by one. You will get all the things. It's very simple to understand actually. Okay. So now we are just moving on the Kruskal's algorithm. What is the main theme of the Kruskal algorithm? It's absolutely same as like the Prim's. It is also used for to find the minimum spanning tree only for a connected weighted graph. But the main target is which is covered here is to find the subset of edges by using which we can traverse every vertex of the graph, right? So the same thing we will use here. So we have to find the optimal solution at every stage instead of focusing the global optimum. So we don't have to see the globally optimum phase. We have to see edge vertices stage by stage optimum solution. Okay. In the Kruskal algorithm, there is a difference between Prim's and Kruskal algorithm that we will cover here. So there are the steps to follow this algorithm. First, you have to create a forest in which a way such like each graph is a separate. So you have to cover all these things. I'm just taking an example and directly moving to the solution for that problem by using Kruskal algorithm. So this is an example that is shown here. Graph is given here and you have to find the uh, minimum spanning tree by using the Kruskal algorithm. Okay, so I'm just trying to just take it over here. So step by step we have to take the solve this particular problem. So first we have to take the tabular representation here and assign, we need to assign all the weights over here, edge wise weight. Okay, so all the edges we have covered over here. Like first is AE I have written with the edge weight 5. So AE with the edge weight 5. Next is AD, AD with the edge weight 10, AC with the edge weight 7, AB with the edge weight 1. So 10, 7, 1. We have covered all the edges which are connected to the A. Next remaining ones like B. What are the connected remaining here? BC with the 3 weightage, right? BC with the 3 weightage, CD with the 4 weightage, and DE with the 2 weightage. That also we have written here, BC, CD and DE, 3, 4, 2. So our tabular form is clear here. So no need to move on the graph now. We have everything here, right? Weightage for each and every edge here, right? Next step that we have to do here, sort all the edges according to their weights. So we have to sort it, like minimum is AB. So you have to write it over here first, right? Then next is 2, DE. Then DE will come over here. Then BC will come here. CD is come here. Then AE will come here. Then AC will come here. And at last AD will come here, right? So everything will be there accordingly. So we have to sort all the weights according edges according to their weights. Okay, next step that we have to perform here, individually take those edges. No need to create the minimum spanning tree in the connected form from step 1 onwards. No need. At last you want connected graph as a minimum spanning tree, but in between steps it may be disconnected, right? In order to find out the optimal solution at each and every step, we are taking these particular conditions here, right? So after that, at last we will get the connected graph itself in the form of minimum spanning tree. It is different from the prims. In prims we have to focus on the optimal solution of like global solution that should be optimum. Overall the graph at each and every step, it should be a connected graph, and we have to consider the minimum one among all those weights that are present at that particular time. But here we have to consider the edges in the ascending order, and we have to take individually, as it may possible in it they are in the disconnected form in intermediate steps. Okay, so first take the AB edge. Yes, we will take it. So we have taken it AB as 1 because it's a minimum edge weight here. Next we will take 2 with DE. So I'm taking here step 2 AB and DE separately. Okay, the next what we have, BC as the 3. Now we have to draw as AB, DE, BC as 3. Then after what we have here, CD as 4, right? So next we have CD as 4, right? If we will take, like, I'm just connecting this thing here, A, B, C. If you will take CD here, so DE is already here. If you will take CD here with the 4 weightage, given it is actually, I'm just moving on it. CD with 4 edge. AA is given with the 5 edge. AE. AE, if you will take AE as a 5 edge, it will create the cycle. So we have to ignore it. We cannot take it. Okay, so we have to ignore it. Next one is A AC with the 7 edge. AC. AC with the 7 edge. It will also create a cycle, so we have to ignore it. Okay. Next, what we have here? AD with the 10 edge. So AD. What about AD? It will also create the cycle here. So we have to exclude it. After all, each and every vertex are covered here, right? Each and every vertex are covered here, and with the minimum edge weight. So at last we are getting the connected graph here. This is for that is not in the graph. I am just editing in this particular tree here. So this is the minimum spanning tree. What is the weight here? 3 plus 1, 4, 4 plus 4, 8, 8 plus 2, 10. So answer will remain same. So if you will find the minimum spanning tree with the help of either from Prim's algorithm or Kruskal algorithm. Just method is different, because in order to get the optimal solution, that will consider the global optimal solution. Here it will Kruskal algorithm will consider the step-by-step optimal solution, and at last in both the cases we get the minimum spanning tree in the connected format. So with the minimum weight itself. Okay. So it was all about the shortest path algorithms. So next we have here tree traversal. It's also important one. It's very easy to understand. Tree traversal is a process itself to visiting each and every node in a tree exactly once. It is the main thing here. So you have to traverse each and every edge exactly once. You cannot repeat. But there are the different ways to traverse the tree, right? There are the two techniques exactly, like depth first and breadth first. Under the depth first traversal, we have these three traversals: pre-order, in-order, and post-order. And last breadth first search traversal will be there. So we will discuss all these traversal techniques one by one. First, we are starting with the depth first traversal, in which we will traverse the tree in the depth wise, and in breadth first search we will traverse the tree breadth wise. Okay, so first we will uh, discuss these three traversal techniques: pre-order, in-order, and post-order. So first is pre-order. What is the algorithm for the pre-order here? First you have to visit the root node, then you have to traverse the left subtree, that's called as left subtree, and whatever is the present on the root left side of the root node, and then after you have to traverse the right subtree, what is that is present on the right subtree, right of the root node. So first root, then left, then right. It will consider as pre-order. Pre is, as its name indicating, pre means before. That means we are focusing on the root. Root should be before, root should be before the left and right subtree, right? In case of in order, root should be in between the left and right subtree. This is root and this is right. And in post order, as its name indicating, post means after. That means left, right, and root. Root should be in the last. So post means root should be in the last, right? Pre means root should be in the first, and in order means root should be in the middle. It's all about all these three things. So we are taking example to get the better clarity about these things. So this example is indicating a tree here. So we have to find out the pre-order traversal for this particular tree. So we will start from the root node always, because we have to take the root in the pre-order. So consider the root A here. I have written here A. Then we have to consider the left subtree. This is the left subtree and this one is the right subtree. Left subtree and left subtree and right subtree. So first we will cover the left subtree, then after we will go to the right one. So first left subtree, what is the root here? Is there further root? Yes, B. So we will write here B here, right? So next is there any left of the B? Yes. So first we will cover the left subtree and then right subtree. Then is there an is it a root? Yes, so then we will write here D. So we have to write here D. Next, is there any left subtree here? No. Is there any right subtree here? No. Then we will come back. That is called backtracking to the root. So next we have to come here to the right hand side of right subtree of this root. What is the right subtree? E. Is it root? Yes, we have to write it. Okay. Is further left of this E? No. Is there any further right of E? No. So we have to backtrack over here. Then is it completed? Yes. So we have to come here on the root node. So is left portion is already covered? Yes, it is covered. Then we have to move on to the right side. So here it will read C, then it will come to the F, then it will come to the G, and all things are covered here: left, root, left and right. Then it will terminate. So it was the pre-ordered traversal technique. Okay, I hope it is clear. It's very simple actually. First you will take the root. You have to take the root, then traverse the left subtree. In left subtree, is there further root or not? You have to traverse. You have to write it. Then do the cross check. Is there any left present? Yes. Then right. If there is not any left present, then move to the right. Is there any right present? Yes. Then write it. If not present, then come back to the root. Okay. So in that manner, you have to repeat the same process again and again until the last node you have covered. So it was all about pre-order traversal. Next we have like we have already done this, like A, how we will traverse this type: A to B, then we will come B to D, then D to E, E to A again, backtracking C, F, G and A. It was all about pre-order traversing. Okay, so I hope it's very simple to understand. It's clear to all. Next, we have application of the pre-order traversal. Without application, there is no use, right? So it is used to get the prefix expression on a of an expression tree. Like you have to solve any expression, like A plus B multiply by C. So you can also solve this kind of expression with the help of pre-order traversal. Okay, so it's basically it is used to create a copy of the tree. So with the weightage that you have mentioned over here, it will create the copy itself by traversing each and every vertex. In order algorithm, we have already covered like left should be there, root should be in between, and then right will be there. So these are the steps, same thing is here. So we are taking an example to get the clarity about in order traversal. Basically in this example, we are taking the same example. First you have to cover the left, then root, then right. So start from here. Don't write a here because of what? Because it is in order. So first go to the left, check the is there any left? Yes. Is there any left? Yes. Is there any left? No. Then you have to write the root. No any left, then root. Yes, if there is any root. So start with d itself. Next, is there any right? No. Then move back. So again it will come over here. Is there any root? Yes. It will, we have to write here root b. Is there any right? Yes. Then come here. First check, is there any left? No. Then you have to write the e here as a root. Then check, is there any right? No. Then come back to the b. Come back to the b. Again check it, left right root already covered. Then come here, this right. So a is the root here. Yes. Left side is already covered. Then write the root. Yes. Now we have to check the right side of the root. Is there any like you will check it, is there any left? Yes. So first write the f before c. You will not write the c. Then first write the left. You are coming over here, then you are coming over here. So first write the f. After this you are going back to the c. Then it is a, is it a root? Yes. So mention the c. Then is there any right? Yes. Come here. Then first check, is there any left or not? If there is any left, then you have to write it. If there is no any left, then write root. Is there any right? Check it out. No any right. So go back here. If you are after traversing, you are coming back. This is by covering all the nodes. It was all about the in order traversal. So it's very easy to understand, like in order traversal. This is the traversing method that we have already covered, like how it is moving on. So basically the application of in order is to find out the infix expression, like expression also calculated by three methods: infix, prefix and postfix expressions. Okay, so it may be you have to study in that into data structure subject also, these things, how to calculate the expression by using infix, postfix and prefix expressions. So these traversing of the graph theory having the application in that field. Okay, in that topic of the data structure. So next we have postfix, as like the same the previous one, like post, we have the root as the last. So left first you have to cover, then right you have to cover, last you have to write the root. So we will cover this thing also with the help of example. Here same example we are taking here. Start from here. Then first check, is there any left? Yes. Is there any left? Yes. Is there any left? No. Then come back here. Is there any right? Don't write this node first. First you have to check left. No, no left. Then you have to check right. No left, no right. Then you have to write this node. Then start from D itself. Okay. Then next come back here. Is there any left? Yes, we have already covered. Is there any right? Yes. Don't write B. First check the right. After coming back here, first check the right. Then after see further. See E is the right. Is first you have to check, is there any left or right of E available? Is there any left? No. Then come back. Is there any right? No. Then you have to print this root node as E. Right? So first you have to print the leaf nodes here in the post order. Okay, so it's the concept here. So again come back over here. Then is left covered? Yes, already covered. Is right covered? Yes, already covered. Now write this particular root here, B. Yes. Now come back over here. Is left covered? Yes, left part is already covered. Is right covered? No. So first we have to come here to cover the right one. Right subtree. So C. For first we check, is there any left or right available for the C? Yes, available. So we are coming here on the left of the C. F. We print here F. Then after come back, before printing the F, we have to cross check it. Is there any left? No. Is there any right? No. Then print the F here, right. Then come back here to the C. Is left covered? Yes, already covered. Is right covered? No. So first we have to come here on the right hand side before writing the C here. So G. First we check, is there any left of the G? No. Is there any right of the G? No. Then we have to put the G as the answer here in the sequence. Then again come back to the C. Is left covered? Yes, already covered. Is right covered? Yes, already covered. Then print the C over here. Then come again back to the A node. Is left covered? Yes. Is right covered? Yes, already covered. That last you have to print the root node. So the main tic tac of these three. In pre-order, root node always available on as the first element. In post order, you will get the root node as the last element. Okay, but in order you cannot decide, like in honor in order, in order we don't know about this. Yes, it's absolutely in center. So if with the in order you have pre-order, then you can find out the post order. Okay, so I'm telling you this topic is very important from competitive point of view also. In competitive exams, always come the question like in order is given to you, in order in the as this type or given shown to you in this manner, it will give, they will give the in order, then either pre or post order will give, right? If pre is given with the in order, you have to find the post order, what will be the post order. If in order is given with the post order, we have to find the pre-order. So it's very important to cover. So just go through this thing. And one more thing here, the next we have the application, of course, to find the postfix expression and use to delete the tree and all. So it's very easy, you can cover. Next, breadth first searches, it's very important. Breadth first search is also known as level first, level ordered tree traversal. Why is it so? Because here we are traveling breadth wise, like first we will cover A, then come here it B, then C, then come again here D, E, F, G. Level by we will cover each and every node. It's very simple. So either you can say breadth first traversal or level order traversal. Both are same. It will print the data just like this. So we have covered all today the spanning tree, minimum spanning tree. Then in the minimum spanning tree, we have calculated how to find the minimum spanning tree using the shortest path algorithm. So we have discussed two shortest path algorithm by using the Prim's algorithm, then Kruskal algorithm. And at last we have discussed the tree traversal. Two types, depth first traversal and breadth first traversal. Under the depth first traversal, we have discussed pre-order, in-order and post-order. And at last we have discussed the breadth first traversal, or you can say level order traversal. So all these topics we have covered in this lecture. So in next lecture onwards, like in next lecture we will discuss the remaining things related to this topic. So stay tuned with the lecture. Thank you. Have a nice day.